Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome to Swamp Cat Boat Works. This is going to be the ultimate DIY bass boat build, and you know why? Because it says so right here. This interests you, stick around. We're going to get started next. All right, guys, here it is. Day one, cut down day. But this idea has been in my head for 20 plus years. I have thought about this hundreds of hours ever since I got rid of my last little pen and had no access to little water. So here we go. This is actually going to be a bass boat, a micro bass boat that will fit in the back of a pickup, have all of the amenities and capabilities of a full-size 21-foot bass boat like I have on the canal behind the house there, but with the added benefit of putting it in the back of a pickup and hitting these small unpressured waters. Today is day one, cut down day. So we're going to take some of these very crude sketches and make about 50 pieces of boat. Y'all stick around. Tailgate down. It's 9 feet, but the boat's going to be quick. It's got to be less than 5 feet wide, which would be 60. That gives me a little play. That's 64-ish to the inside of the truck bed. And I got to figure out how to get it in there by myself with it weighing a couple hundred pounds. That's a problem for a later date. Let's get the boat built first. Here's our material list. We got 6 2x6s, 3 12s, 3 10s. We got 1 sheet of 3/4 plywood. We've got 10 sheets of 5mm plywood, and we got a sheet of half over there up against the wall. A bunch of tools that I've had forever. The only tool that I bought specifically for this job is a track and a track saw attachment for my trim saw. And I didn't really need it, but I've always wanted one, so why not? There's a couple $100 off of Amazon. Right now, I have about $300 in lumber. I've got probably $300 in epoxies and epoxy glues. I got a couple more. There's another gallon coming of epoxy, and then I've got some stainless screws and some just regular drywall screws that I'm going to use to hold it together in the meantime. Like I said, I did a bunch of designs. I think I have it figured out. I don't know if I have it figured out, but this is going to be something that I'm doing in this garage with a little help with basic carpentry tools. And hopefully these calculations for buoyancy actually are accurate, because we're hoping to get 15 miles an hour out of it with electric only power, and maybe close to 50 with gas. But I've got a couple test dummies who are willing and volunteering to run it with a 25 on it to see if we can get to 50. That did come in later, so y'all stick around. Okay, layout of the first rib is done, and it looks like I think I want it to look. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting, and then we'll lay out the rest of the ribs and see where we can get to today with cutting all these pieces. There are about 50 pieces to cut, so stick around. I'm doing all this measuring, laying out, and cutting, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the build itself. This is a 1260T micro bass boat, which is 12 foot long, 60 inches wide. It's a tunnel hole design, hopefully to give us some stability closer to a pontoon boat. This is not a kayak. This is not a modified John boat, which those are cool. In fact, I've got to give a shout out to Mike at TV Nation, because without his videos and me watching how to do everything that comes after this part, I probably wouldn't have done it. The TV Nation has been a big part of, you know, the motivation factor and actually getting this done. So hopefully we join the Tiny Boat Nation when we get our micro bass boat complete. So yep, let's get it cut. Okay, we finally made it to rib number 5. This is where the bottom of the pontoon flattens out and it's starting to come up, and the tunnel is coming up. This is 10 feet from the back of the boat, 2 feet from the front of the boat, and the tunnel is getting higher, I guess, because I plan on this boat actually doing some kind of performance, and you know, if we got to get in a big waves, we got to be able to handle it. So again, hopefully my math works out. Y'all stay around. Okay, well, it's after lunch. I've made a bunch of cuts. I got all of my ribs from up to 2 feet from the bow, because I'm still not sure how that compound cover is going to work on the bow. This is the transom. Nathan finally shows up. He's been painting the house all day. So we're getting close to being done with all the cuts of the ribs. We'll cut the side panels next, and then we'll cut some bracing, some longitudinal ribs. We'll cut those too. So stay around. We're getting close to putting this thing together. Well, it's the end of day one, guys. 9 hours. Got everything cut. Got my jig built. Got some help coming tomorrow, so we're going to start gluing up and see how this goes. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the morning.